lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Hello, race fans, and welcome to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We are live here on Sim Racing Media, bringing you the Western States Racing League, round number 13 out of 20, here at the Diamond in the Desert, the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I'm Liam Ervig, got Chris Murphy up here with me, and Chris, we are in for an absolute show. The weather is perfect, and we have a huge field here tonight, 26 trucks.
26 trucks, biggest field of the year so far. But it looks like so far we got about 4 minutes left here in qualifying. Only 18 trucks have hit the track so far. Looking for some exciting racing here on this 1.5 miles out here at Vegas. We're gonna see if Jacob Jensen can keep up his dominance, but 1.5 mile track really haven't been his thing.
Yeah, he hasn't necessarily been bad at them, but somebody's always been better. Last time around at Kansas, it was Bentley Glazer who got the job done. Right now, Glazer sits on the provisional pole with a 3061. As Chris mentioned, only 18 drivers have hit the track, so there's definitely a possibility for that to change. Jacob Jensen just a couple of 100ths behind him in second. So now we take a look at this number 25 machine getting out onto the racetrack. That's Ron Holifield.
Holifield in that Kodiak number 25 throwback to Kenny Schrader's Winston Cup car from years gone by. But yeah, looking good out there so far, getting some laps in, a few more drivers. You know, I'm looking at the driver lineup, and the one thing I'm not seeing, I don't see our point leader Brian Barnes out there tonight.
No, I was actually about to bring that up, and for those of you watching on the YouTube, Chris does an excellent job at what he does on the ones and twos and getting information together for these races week in and week out. So he's thrown together a pretty good note list, and that was one of the ones that was going to be a talking point. Is that Brian Barnes is leading the standings, still searching for that elusive first win. Won't be today, as he is still yet to show up. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get on. Oh, he's still got a few minutes, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get on the roster here tonight.
Yeah, so we'll take a look
However,
at
Dustin Burns has showed up, 27.
the standings here real quick while they're getting the qualifying laps in. So Brian, as you can see, Brian Barnes 4-point lead over Wayne Hutchison. Wayne here to with us at Vegas, so I think you're going to see another lead change into points. They've swapped the lead back and forth 2 or 3 times already throughout the season. Jacob Jensen sitting there in third, 7 points back. The win leader on the season with 4 wins, looking to move up into the point lead. Bob Beltrami in 4th, Julian Ricci 5th, John Kenyon back there in 6th, Chad Stearns, Ryan Steele, David Weaver, and Bentley Glazier going to round out the top 10 right now in the current point standings in season. Is that right? Season 53? Is that?
Season 53, and
Holy mackerel.
I believe this is going to be race 2080. 2,080 times the green flag will have thrown in this league, and I tell you what, that's super impressive with what these guys have been able to put together, and obviously that includes the other leagues that these guys have. They've got a couple of different ones that run weekly. As you were talking through the point standings, though, Chris, I do just want to bring up another one of your fantastic points. Chad Stearns currently sits 7th in the points, but he has been blazing through the standings. He's missed 2 races, but he's won 3 of the last 7, if I'm not wrong, Chris.
Yeah, picked up a last couple of wins here. What was his last win? I gotta scroll through and find it myself. So yeah, last win was at New Hampshire. Before that, Richmond. So I think you're gonna see Chad run pretty strong here at this 1.5 mile. But as he gets out there, puts a lap down, actually, according to my leaderboard, was 3 thousandths of a second off the pole sitter Bentley Glazier. So Chad Stearns shows up here late. Actually, just rolled into the racetrack about 5 minutes before qualifying even started, and unloads that truck, and it's 3 thousandths off the pole. So we're going to see Chad Stearns starting second at this point, as long as nobody else can knock him off that front row.
And one of the key things that you actually failed to mention there, he got his last win in New Hampshire, the one before that in Richmond. But let's not forget race number 1 of the season at Texas, where Chad Stearns got it done at another 1.5 mile intermediate track.
So Dustin Burns out here getting his laps put in. We've got about 22 seconds left here in qualifying, 20 seconds. I think this is going to be the last lap. We're going to see Dustin Burns going to come home in about 20th. So we got 28, or what do we say here? 27
like
showed up.
27 entrants.
23 have made a lap here in qualifying. It looks like that is going to bring an end to qualifying. And
Charlie Widener, Heath Smith, Michael Milfelt Jr., and Daryl Scott all electing not to take a qualifying lap. So we'll see who all of those drivers is going to take the grid here. Like I said, 27 to start us out here. We'll see if all 27 take the green flag.
yeah, beautiful shot from the blimp there, the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. If you look a little bit, I think it's to the north here, whichever way the north is, you can see the strip from here. Just a beautiful setting for a racetrack. And out in the desert, so we don't have to worry about any rain.
No, I think we had to deal with a sandstorm once, though.
We're getting gridded up here. Looks like Bentley Glazier's gridded. We're waiting for Chad Stearns, Jacob Jensen, Julian Ricci, Ryan Steele, Dustin Burns, and Ron Holyfield to make it to the line. We got about a minute left to go in the gridding up section or session. Bentley Glazier picked up the win a couple weeks ago at Kansas. Comes out here strong tonight. Going to sit on the pole here at Vegas. But I would not be surprised at all to see Chad Stearns have a good run down into 1 and 2.
Yeah, that run into 1 and 2 is going to be huge. I anticipate the inside lane being the way to go, but you might be able to get yourself a nice run coming up off of 2. Try to establish your nose out in front, getting into 3 and 4. It's going to be an interesting first couple of laps for these guys, though, as you mentioned, as we've talked already. One of the biggest fields we've seen all season. And we're just waiting on second and I believe 17th.
Looks like Charles Woods has made his way to the grid, so we're just waiting on Chad Stearns. He's just making everybody, just waiting until the last second there, taking his time.
It looks to me like all 27 cars are gonna, or also 27 trucks are gonna take the green flag here. Everybody's gridded. Let's go ahead and go through our starting lineup here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Bentley Glazer on the pole with Jacob Jensen to his outside. Or sorry, Chad Stearns will be on his outside. Jacob Jensen in P3 with Jeff Hollingsworth to his outside. Paul Crumray with a strong starting spot in 5th with Julian Ricci starting in 6th. Then we've got Chris Walker and the chief cook and bottle washer, Bob Beltrami, starting 8th. David Weaver and Scott Kukas round out your top 10. And William Fletcher and Jeff Wills round out the top half of the field here today.
Shane Jensen, Wayne Hutchison going to be in row number 7. Earl Weaver, John Kenyon going to fill row number 8, starting back in the 17th spot. Going to be Charles Woods in that number 40. James Dewar in the 18th starting position in that 08. Ryan Steele, not a great qualifying effort from Ryan back there in 19th. Dustin Burns going to start off the field here in 20th. Ron Holyfield in 21st in that Kodiak number 25, and Barry Phil in 22nd. Alan Bergen, our SMN compadre, back in 23rd. Heath Smith 24th, and a non-qualifier is going to be Michael Milfit, going to start off in 25th and finishing off the 13th row, Charlie Widener, and rounding out the field back there in 27th is going to be Daryl Scott.
We've got 107 laps here in Las Vegas. It's going to be about 160 miles. Anticipating 2 pit stops, but before that, the green's got to come out. There it is. We are racing in the deserts of Las Vegas.
Bentley Glazer with a good jump right there off the start. Jacob Jensen tucked up right behind him. Chad Stearns left a little bit on the outside. And here comes Paul Crumray with a good run here underneath Chad Stearns as well. So I think a bottom line right now is going to be the dominant place to be.
Jensen moves up in front of Stearns, now moves back down in front of Crumray. Gets a little bit sideways, anticipate that. Gonna see some trucks getting sideways. I believe Earl Weaver got sideways as well, but he's gonna be able to keep it going. Separation between the first pack, and now there's a separate second pack because of that sliding that you're gonna see these guys do on cold tires. That's one of the toughest challenges here in a Vegas race, is getting through that first 3 and 4 complex with cold tires. Big move from Scott Kukas at the back of this pack. Goes all the way down to the inside of John Kenyon. Gonna try to get clear coming up off of 4, but Kenyon with the run up on the outside. Gonna try to hold on to 13th place. Back up front, nothing's really changed as Jeff Hollingsworth is trying to push Paul Crumray past the 05, but now the 05 of Stearns gets a run up on the top side. Hollingsworth moves up to block, gets a little bit sideways. Now here comes Chad Stearns up on the outside of Jacob Jensen, trying to take away the second place in the middle lane. Coming up off of turn number 4, this is going to be 3 laps complete. These guys are racing like there's 3 laps to go.
Yeah, Chad Stearns getting a good run on the outside. He kind of got dropped to the back there at the start on that outside line. Bentley Glazer to the point, but Chad Stearns is getting that 05 truck wound up on the top. He's now made his way around Jacob Jensen for that second spot, and he's looking to bring the 97 of Jeff Hollingsworth with him.
And did you see what the 96 did coming through turns 1 and 2? He got right to the back bumper of the 64, got him a little bit loose. That allowed Chad Stearns to get out in front and get clear for second place. Now he's got a tow on the race leader, Bentley Glazer.
Yeah, down on the bottom right-hand screen, we actually have an in-car here for you tonight. We've got a couple of them. That's going to be John Kenyon we're looking at right now. And we're also going to have an in-car with Jeff Wills, the same one we had last week. So just a little bit, guys working at giving us some different little setups here, so you can take a look there with Jeff. But here you can see Hollingsworth has now made his way around Chad Stearns for that second position. And he's got his sights set on Bentley Glazier, but Chad Stern's taking a look to the inside, back on Hollingsworth, down on that apron, down underneath the white line, but not able to make the pass. As you can see, still packed up 2 by 2 as we are 6 laps into this 107 lap race.
Yeah, I think Chad Stearns went low just as much to try to pass Hollingsworth in front, but to try to defend from Julian Ricci behind him. Now Ricci getting around on the outside. Jacob Jensen looking to follow through. This might be the point where running towards the middle starts to be a little bit quicker than the bottom.
Yeah, we're going to see drivers all over the racetrack. That's the great thing with this track here at Vegas is you can run the bottom, you can run the middle, you can run the top. You know, if you get up on the top, the trick up there is you just got to keep your momentum up. If at any point you get up there, the truck gets a little bit loose on you, and you've got to get out of the throttle, you're going to lose all that momentum you've tried to gain.
Yeah, it's not going to make things easy on you, especially if you get up into the marbles, you start to tighten up. You could anticipate that here at the beginning of the race, but as people start to work their way up the racetrack, and if we do see some caution flags, that outside lane is going to be better and better as this race continues on. And they've got the benefit of having 26 trucks on this racetrack, so that's going to allow the track to change even quicker than it normally would.
We jump in the truck here with Chris Walker back in that 6th spot. He is right up on the back bumper of Jacob Jensen. And you can see Walker's going to run that outside lane. Jake Jensen kind of came in high, dived down to the bottom, kind of used that banking to get a little momentum. And Jensen's trying to work his way back up on the back of Chad Stearns here, try to get back around fourth. These two have been going at it back and forth all season long, and Jensen catches the
yellow
wall
flag. Alan Bergen might have a problem here. The caution has just come out. For the first time here today, it looks like there might be damage to Charles Woods in the 40 car as well. Yeah, he's got a bent up rear end.
See if we can see what happened here.
Oh, he's already got the damage at that point.
Go back just a little bit further.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's Alan.
Alan kind of came off the wall there a little bit, caught him. That may take
See if
Alan
we can't
out of
see
the
what
race.
happened to Alan there. Alan Bergen, our guy from SRM.
Let's see if we can get a glimpse here. Might be back too far. Let me try and bump just a little bit here.
Yeah, just get up onto.
I just kind of
he got up into the wall,
Yep.
Came back down into Weaver. It's a good save.
That is going to be our first caution.
Can't imagine anybody pits at this point, Chris.
I wouldn't think so. Not 10 laps. What we were guessing? What about 35 to 38 laps on our fuel stop?
That is the rough guesstimation, but you could find yourself in an off-strategy situation here as the 97 looks to be pitting. Jeff Hollingsworth, Chris Walker, Paul Crumray, Jeff Wills coming down into the pits with a host of cars outside of the top 10.
Yeah, Hollingsworth's going to dive down into pits.
See if these guys decide to take tires or if they're just going to maybe try to top it off and maybe push this thing. Looks like the 97's fuel only. They did not jack that truck up at all. Same with the 96. 23 also looks to be a no tire stop as well. Fuel only for most of these drivers. Jeff Wills, Scott Kukas taking tires. Well, Chris, we saw a pretty crazy start there. What do you think this initial restart is going to look like compared to that with these 10-lap older tires?
Well, you're going to have to be a little more careful getting on the throttle coming off of 4 for sure. You're not going to have near as much grip as you had at the start of the race. You got 10 laps on these tires. Vegas can be pretty hard. You know, pretty hard and abrasive with that out here in the desert. You get the sand blowing across the racetrack, tears the tires up a little bit. So you got to be a little bit easier on the throttle coming to the restart line. And I think that's exactly what you're going to see out of Bentley Glazier. But Bentley doing a good job here. He's looked pretty good the last 2 or 3 weeks after picking up that win at Kansas. Let's see if he can hang on. He's looked really strong here so far in this opening few laps.
I believe Bentley's a former champion of this series. Lights are off on the pace car, and we can accurately report that everybody has gotten off of the pits on the lead lap. So 27 trucks started this race, still 27 on the lead lap. Alan Bergen able to get enough repairs done to get back out onto the racetrack. Remember, no fast repairs in this league, so if you get caught up in a lap 10 incident, you are in for a long day.
Yeah, Julian Ricci's found his way up here to the front. A couple of drivers coming into pit. Jeff Hollingsworth looks like the first driver that came up in the order here that did make a pit stop, finding himself there in 13th. But Julian Ricci right up there now made his way up to second. He's got two pretty hot hands right behind him with Chad Stearns and Jacob Jensen. So we're going to see how this start's going to come out as we're heading down into the turn number 3.
Jeff Wills in 18th place was the first driver to take tires. After that, it's Heath Smith in 21st. Not a lot of drivers at the front taking any pit stop, any service, no tires. So we're going to see what this restart brings us, Chris.
Yeah, see if Bentley Ricci's usually pretty strong on his restarts, so we're going to see if Glazer can get away from him here. Coming down through this little tri-oval section, going to come to the restart zone. Glazer's going to get on the throttle. He's going to get a good jump. Chad Stearns going to stay right there with him.
It looks like David Weaver in the 16 had a poor jump on the inside that allows the top 4 to get away from the rest of the pack. Chad Stearns moves up into second as Julian Ricci had himself a not-so-great restart from the outside. And, Chris, I would anticipate that's going to be a trend throughout the course of the race. The outside lane is not going to be a great place to restart.
Oh, it looks like the 3 wide right here, the 3 and 4 here. You got Shane Jensen, what's that, Mike Milfett, David Weaver, and Bob Beltrami all right here, all together. Just a group going 3 wide, coming off of turn number 4 down through the tri-oval section. And they've got the 28 there of William Fletcher right in front of them, too. So a little swarm of 5 cars here, all over top of each other.
Milfelt through the middle. He stayed out, gained a ton of track position. He's going to be trying to keep Bob Beltrami behind him as he works now the outside of that 8 truck, Shane Jensen. Almost a little bit of contact there in turns 3 and 4. They are door to door. Look at them.
I did not think they were going to make it through that corner without a little more contact. Good job from Jensen keeping the car down low. Milfett was not giving him a lot of room. Milfett kind of squeezed him down there, so a good driving there by the 8 to not lose the truck there, because it's really easy to get the back of that truck come around on you when you're that tight to another truck on the outside. But good racing there side by side. We'll jump back up here to the front. You can see Julian Ricci and Jacob Jensen going at it here side by side for that 3rd position. Looking at that 05 of Chad Stearns right there in front of it. But, you know, you said it a little bit ago, you know, that outside line on the restart has not been good, but it has been coming in after a few laps here. And you can see Ricci working that outside line, working. I guess he kind of has no choice as Jensen's hanging him up there, but you can see him starting to gain a little momentum. He's now pulling ahead of Jensen coming off of turn 2 down the back straightaway.
Yeah, he's going to get himself clear. Now, I think this is turning into a little bit of a pack race, and it's clear that Bentley Glazer, with the clean air, has an advantage. So I wonder if these guys are going to at all try to work together just to get that 87 out of the lead, get him into dirty air, and potentially throw a wrench in his plans. Got a lot of action here towards the middle of the pack. Here's Bob Beltrami working the outside of that 74. Jeff Wills. Ooh, a little bit loose there was David Weaver just in front of him. Slides up the racetrack, and now here's the Oregon Ducks machine. Heath Smith trying to get down to the bottom. We've seen that truck before.
Yeah, we jump in the truck here with John Kenyon, not just on the sim, but you can also see him down in the bottom right-hand corner. John giving us access to his webcam tonight, giving us a little show as he has the 95 of Charles Widener up on the outside. But yeah, like you said, you can see that that 0 car, Heath Smith, he says number 1 on my screen, my scoring, but starting to make it up through the field. And I like that Oregon Ducks. Go Ducks. Going to the front, up 15 spots, started back in 24th, up to 9th. He looks like he's got a fast truck out there right now.
Yeah, that is the one truck. It's an O on the front, not a 0.
I should know better than that. That's the big Oregon O.
I only had to get you because you got me with it before.
Look at that move he's making
Here,
down
here he
underneath.
goes.
Gonna go down underneath Bob Beltrami and David Weaver to take 2 spots. That #1 truck is on a tear, moving to the front of the pack.
He was the first driver to come in and get 4 fresh tires. He's up 16 spots from where he started this race. He's up 12 from where he restarted, 10 rather, from where he restarted. He's got Michael Milfelt Jr. and the 28 of William Fletcher just in front of him. Gonna try to make quick work of him. See, look now, Chad Stearns getting a little bit closer to the front. Or to the rear end of Bentley Glazer, I should say.
And Jeff Wills
It's
also
Jacob
making his
Jensen.
way up here. Jeff Wills actually came in on a pit stop. It looks like he might have taken tires of the 14-second pit stop. So Wills coming up
he
through
did.
the pack. Coming up through the pack
You
here
are
as well.
absolutely right.
Wills looking to get himself to the lead. He's got a strong truck. He's going to look underneath the 05 of Chad Stearns as they head down through turn number 1 and 2 here. He has got the pace. Can he finish the pass here coming off the corner?
Stearns didn't quite have the grip to keep himself on the bottom, to keep that lane closed off for Jeff Wills. But Wills able to get back down to the bottom, get the power down a little bit sooner. Stearns going to try to stay diligent on the outside. Just barely keeps his nose to the outside. Now gets it to the door. But that inside lane for Jeff Wills gets a little bit loose on that apron transition. Should be able to complete the slide job getting into turns 1 and 2. I don't even think he's going to have to slide up. Stearns staying strong up on the outside. There goes
That
Wills.
was close.
Oh, and he's going to dive it in, get right to the rear bumper of Bentley Glazer. Try to loosen him up, move him up the racetrack.
Now Wills moved up there in front of Chad Stearns. There could not have been an inch between the two when he made that move, as he's now looking to the outside of Glazer going down in turn number 1. Wills with a lot of pace right now with these fresh tires.
He's going to make that move up on the outside. He's got the momentum. Take a look at this coming up off of turn number 2. He's going to get clear for the race lead. Going into turn 3, put the 74 out front. New leader, Jeff Wills.
You are in the truck, in the sim rig there with Jeff Wills. He takes the point here for I think it might be the first time we've seen him lead, at least in the last few races for sure. But
Definitely since we got his camera.
yeah, so a nice strategy there from Jeff Wills coming in and taking some tires. Finds his way to the front. Let's see if he can put some distance here on these trucks behind him. So I don't really know if that saved him a pit stop going in 10 if we were thinking about, I mean, you're looking at a 2-stop race anyway.
Well, he got 4
laps.
sets of tires. It's kind of an extra set. The question is, when do you want to use it? And obviously the 1 and the 74 took the opportunity to use it at the beginning of the race. They've just got to kind of hope that they don't need that set in a late race situation.
Now we see Heath Smith coming up to the front here as well. Now up to 3rd, so the 2 trucks up front with fresh tires. You know, there's a bunch of trucks back in the field that also on fresh tires that did not making up any ground. One of those being the 97 of Jeff Hollingsworth, who was out in front early, but now finding himself back here in 18th. So that pit stop for Jeff did not work out near as well as it did for Jeff Wills or for Heath Smith.
Well, Hollingsworth came in and he took fuel only. He had a 7.2 second pit stop, which is not long enough to get a 2-tire stop done in these trucks. So that leads me to believe he took fuel only, trying a little bit different on the strategy call. Going to still try to run long, but not having the benefit of those fresh tires that Jeff Wills and Heath Smith have. Now running 1-2. And another question I was going to ask you, Chris, is that Heath obviously he's been a little bit slower to get up to the front compared to Jeff Wills. Do you think that might be because of tire conservation, or do you think he maybe just struggled through the field a little bit more?
You know, I think a lot of it's just going to depend on when you catch those cars in front of you. And I think he just it wasn't near as timely as Jeff Wills was. Jeff was able to make his way through there, catching some of these trucks on the straightaway, and it looked like Heath was unfortunately getting himself mired in traffic just a little bit. So you can see how it's really worked out for Wills, as he's now got about a 1-second lead back to Heath Smith. But you know, if you're right and he saved a little bit of tire, he should be able to charge Jeff Wills down here. So we see if he's able to do that here in just the next couple of laps.
Currently the gap sits about 0.9 of a second. Heath Smith sitting in second place, but here's where the battle is. Michael Milfelt Jr. all over the back bumper of Julian Ritchie. potentially trying to push him up a little bit further forward. So these guys have lost roughly 2.5 seconds to Jacob Jensen in 5th place. Here comes Michael Milfelt Jr. to the inside to make a move.
Now Milfett with a good run there is going to get underneath Julian Ricci. Going to clear him. Going to clear him down there 1 and 2. Going to move himself up into the 6th spot. Good run from Michael Milfett, but here comes Ricci back down to the bottom. They head down into turn number 3 in that 11 truck. Julian usually runs a number 1, but I think Heath Smith got in the lobby before he did tonight, so Ricci finds himself with truck number 11 for the evening.
Ricci gonna relinquish that position, put Michael Milfelt Jr. up into 6th. A phenomenal run for him so far. Lap number 30. Remember, Michael Milfelt did. He started in the 25th position, did not take a qualifying lap. Elected to stay out from the back. Well, one in the wall, that's Paul Crumray. But he elected to stay out from the back, and it has entirely worked in his favor. He's gained a few spots since the restart, minus Jeff Willis and Heath Smith getting around him on fresh tires. Michael Milfelt Jr. showing an impressive run with the speed of that number 155 Federated Auto Parts machine. So now you see John Kenyon trying to get up in front of Paul Crumray. Not quite enough space. Almost puts him up into the wall, but he's going to have the space now. Slides up the racetrack coming up off of turn 2. Oh, another one in the wall.
Now Milfett gets around Ricci and kind of clears him here a little bit, so he's got his set sight on Chad Stearns. Chad up there in that 5th spot. Milfett clearing his group behind him of Ricci, Fletcher, Beltrami, Widener, and Ryan Steele. Ryan Steele's also moved up here. Did not qualify well earlier, but he's now found his way up to the front here, a little bit closer to the front anyway, now up into 11th.
Yeah, doing a phenomenal job is Ryan Steele, and that's kind of been his MO on the season. He tends to show up a little bit late in practice, uses the first run of the race to kind of figure out what his truck has, and from there on out, he gets it dialed in, he gets what he needs to out of it, and we've seen him run up front at the end of these races before. I don't see why today would be any different.
Now we look back up here at the front. Heath Smith now is closing that gap a little bit on Jeff Wills. He was about a second when he cleared Bentley Glazer for that 2nd position. He's now about 6 to 7/10 of a second behind Wills, so gaining just a little bit here and there. So we're on lap 33. We're going to be expecting some green flag stops here, probably within the next, if our estimations are correct, somewhere between the next 5 and 8 laps at the most. With that caution earlier, might have let these guys stretch a little bit further, but 107 laps of this race. We're about going to start lap number 34. 74 laps left to go. I'm Chris Murphy with Liam Irving here with Sim Racing Media, bringing the Western States season 53. Was it round 11, round 10? I don't even remember now.
Round 13.
Round 13.
We are flying through this season, bud.
There we are.
It has been incredible racing. We've been able to watch week in and week out. And we've seen it all. We've seen caution-free races. We've seen wreck fests. We've seen plate races. We've seen road races. We've even seen short track caution-free races. Talking about Dover. Might be a mile, but I consider that a short track.
That's pretty much, anymore it's a short track, right?
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a look here at Bob
Things
Beltrami.
separating a...
What did you call Bob earlier? The bottle capper?
Oh, it's Alan's big old thing is the chief cook and bottle washer.
Okay. That's what that means.
Basically meaning
the league owner?
he runs the show. He gets the behind the scenes stuff done that nobody else is willing to do. Wayne Hutchison comes into the pits, and Alan Bergen has gone 1 lap down, already having made his pit stop at lap 26 under green.
Yeah, we usually see Wayne Hutchison, that number 17 truck, but sporting the number 20 here tonight. Wayne needs just a decent run here, and he'll take over the point lead since Brian Burns did not show up for the evening. So we'll see if Wayne Hutchison can find his way to the front, or at least have a good points run. He started up there, and
Heath Smith pits from second. 64 coming in as well. We've got the cycle starting here.
So Heath Smith pitted back on lap 10. you know, this could work out really well for him. He knows everybody else has to pit. He's going to short pit here. He pitted back on lap 10, took on tires. That got him some track position, got him to the front. And he knows everybody else is going to be pitting here real soon. So Heath Smith there. And you can see drivers starting to dive in the pits. Jacob Jensen in the pits, Shane Jensen in the pits. But our leader, Jeff Wills, I think Jeff would be pretty wise to follow suit there. You come in and pit with these guys. Don't try to stretch it too long, because even though he did pit 10 laps sooner than everybody else, or just pitted back on lap 10, you know, if you try to stretch it 10 more laps after everybody else, I think you're going to get shuffled way, way back in the pack by the time you finally pit.
Well, Bentley Glazer and Chad Stearns are still yet to make a pit stop, and, you know, I hate to bring in my own personal experience, but I ran a league race at Charlotte a couple of weeks ago, and I had a very strong car. I was leading for a good portion of the race, but when we got to... Oh, caution flag is out for the second time today. And that is exactly what Jeff Wills, Bentley Glazer wanted. Looks like potentially David Weaver and Charles Woods could be involved in this, but caution out for the second time right in the middle of green flag pit stops.
All right, let's go back and take a look at that here. See what happened. We see David Weaver right here. He catches.
Oh no!
Same thing we saw earlier with Alan Bergen. David Weaver just caught the wall, comes down in front of Charles Woods. Wasn't that Charles Woods that got caught in that first one earlier too?
Charles he had a really good avoidance in that first one, and unfortunately this time around.
See if we can go back and take another look at this a little bit further back.
The 16, he's running through. He's following in behind the 97. It looks like he maybe tried to make a move up onto the outside, and there was just no space. And now we get into a spot of synchronized spinning up on the outside.
Yeah, they both did a really good job of keeping the trucks against the wall right there, too. We see so many times you make a mistake like that, and you're in a hurry to get down off the wall. You come across the racetrack and collect a few more drivers. So a good job there from both of them, just keeping the trucks tucked up against the fence.
Almost a little bit more contact there. 40 ends up getting into the inside wall again. We did hear David get up out of the radio and apologize to Charlie. Jeff Will is going to lead him down the pit lane.
All right, while they're pitting here in the yellow, we're going to take just a quick moment, take a quick commercial break. We will be back in just a minute. Just a couple minutes. We'll keep it up on the PIP for you. Anything exciting happens, we'll jump back over.
Lights are off on the pace truck. You're right on board with Jeff Wills, who's going to restart from the lead. Green flag is in the air. Numerous drivers came in to top off, so that's why your restart looks a little jumbled up and things going 3 wide already. Look at Julian Ricci trying it up the middle.
Julian Ricci taking a look to the inside of that 08 truck of James Doerr, but he's got the 23 of Chris Walker kind of blocking his run on the bottom. And you can see Heath Smith, he's pitted right before that caution came out and unfortunately put himself back. An untimely caution from him. Look, it's
Jeff
going to
Wills
get into
gets
Jeff
turned.
Wills. Nice
He's gonna
save
save
there.
it. Watch for the follow-up. Crash behind.
David Weaver
goes around, no caution. Excellent save there by Wills, but unfortunately... Oh, and more problems. The 23 gets turned right in front of Wills.
Wills made his way to the front, but unfortunately caught in some incident right there. Another caution flag's going to come out. Looked like a little frustration there from Wills. After the second incident, he kind of keeps pushing. So we'll see if we can go back and find. Actually, here's what happened here. The second one, it looks like Michael Milford gets into the 23 there a little bit.
I'd like to go back a little bit further on that one if we could.
Yeah, I'm going to try
I
it
did
here.
hear some radio chatter about if you're going to go down onto the apron, it's your responsibility to get back up clean. So I wonder, yeah, we're going to see here. The 155 is all the way down. The
I was going to see if I can find that first incident here.
Oh, yeah, that... You might be a little past it.
Yeah, it didn't get marked on my event log very well on that first incident. I mean, Jeff Wills is already to the back here. Let's jump back just a little bit further.
Okay. All right, so I see what was going on.
Yeah, I'm not going to find that first one, but I'm trying to find that first little incident there with him and Chad Stearns. I didn't get it marked fast enough.
Let me see if I can.
All right, we'll go back and find the second one here real quick. Yeah, it's like the 155 and the 23 get together, shoves him up in front of Wills. Unfortunately, for Wills, another. It looks like the 46 of Earl Weaver going around there as well. So unfortunate for Jeff Wills, was running up towards the front, gets involved in a couple of incidents right there. Don't know if either one of them are really his doing. The second one, definitely not. He just got caught up in that other collision, but we're going to see if we can find a replay of that first incident. Is Bentley Glazer's going to find his way back to the lead. Bunch of drivers going to come in and pit. Lap 46. It looks like Beltrami's going to come down and pit us like Charles Widener right down there behind him. Ryan Steele as well.
I'm trying to figure out how to record the event, but...
Where was it at? You got a time frame on it?
Yeah, I can find you a time frame. Go to, say, 32 minutes flat, if you can.
All right.
Lap 43. So yeah, it was right here on the restart. And actually, a phenomenal restart from Glazer on the outside. That's the first time we've seen that actually work out properly for the outside lane. And so, yeah, you're going to see Chad Stearns. He's going to get a run down to the inside. He's going to try to split it 3 wide, touches that white line, tries to hook that splitter
Gets a little
on
bit
the
loose
bottom.
right there.
Wills goes down to defend, and so Chad's all the way. He's 2-3 feet from the line. Now he gets up to about a car width, but he's there.
Yeah, he's right on his left rear quarter.
Oh, Wills was kind of getting...
You know, was that a little net code? I mean, I hate
it was either net code or the 74 was already getting loose on entry. And then here's where the contact behind is. David Weaver gets up into the wall. You can't see it from this angle, but he gets up into the wall, locking up the brakes, and spins down to the bottom.
Yeah, from our point of view right there, I mean, I hate to use that as an excuse, but from our point of view there, it looked like there was a little gap between Stearns, and maybe Stearns was seeing the same thing. But it's, or like you said, either Will's just maybe got a little bit loose. But we see Will's here in the car, trying to get himself
Then, of
caught back
course,
up to the field.
Of course, the reason the caution that came out was due to contact between Michael Milfeld Jr. and the 23 of Chris Walker, sent him around into the wall. Unfortunately, ironically, just in front of Jeff Wills, who had a phenomenal save.
That was a nice save
But
right there.
since the caution came out on the first lap of the restart, we're doing single file this time around. Bentley Glazer holds on to the lead over Bob Beltrami and Charlie Widener. Ryan Steele up in fourth. Green flag is in the air.
Yeah, Widener up 23 spots, up started back in 26th. I think didn't qualify up to third right now. Glazer gets a really good jump over the field.
Oh, quick caution. Trouble on the restart towards the rear of the pack. Wayne Hutchison, I believe. Yeah. Gets turned around. Jacob Jensen might have had a piece there. He's asking how bad it is.
Take a look here, see what happened on the restart. We'll take a look here at Wayne Hutchison in the 20 truck. He's got Jacob Jensen right there behind him. And it looks like Wayne just didn't get, and you can see the 23 spinning back there in the background as well. So it looked like Wayne just didn't get going as quickly as Jensen anticipated, and Jensen runs in the back of him.
Do me a solid. Right on board with Wayne Hutchison in real time. I have a theory. I think he might have money shifted. Let's go regular speed. He didn't money shift. It looks like he missed it. You see that rev get all the way up to 8,000 and hit the chip, hit the limiter.
Yeah.
Not sure what happened to the 23 of Chris Walker, but definitely not a sequence of laps he wants.
I'll go back and take a look. It looks like, oh, he just kind of.
Oh, he moved up. He moved up to the outside to try to make a pass, and Gerald Scott maybe didn't like that.
Yeah, or he came down. Yeah, just not unfortunate there. And you know, they already saw the two trucks in front of him kind of piling up, and it just kind of happened all at the same time. So when you have something like that happening in front of you, just kind of pile everything up. So my replay button
you're
kind of
absolutely
wore out here.
right.
So
that was a bang play, and it is rude for me to assume that maybe Daryl Scott didn't like that. But yeah, that was a bang play. He could have entirely just been moving up, seeing that the 20 had spun in front of him.
Let's go look and see if Daryl will jump in the truck with him.
Yeah, you know, I think he was.
I don't think
he was more focused on the 98 in front of him.
Yeah.
Didn't even realize that 23 was going to be out there.
Yeah, Walker just came up there in a hurry up on the outside. And it may have just been that Walker didn't see what was happening in front, and Daryl Scott was. He kind of lifted out of the throttle a little bit, too, because you saw that 23 truck just come up in a flash up on the outside of him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have another in-car camera tonight we haven't used yet. We got our good buddy Alan Bergen out of House Springs, Missouri, here with us tonight.
All right. Yeah, we were able to chat with Alan before the race because obviously he works with us. So if he doesn't talk to us, he loses money. I'm kidding. That's not how it works. But he was able to talk with us, and you know, he just talked about the excitement that Las Vegas brings, how tough of a track it is. And right now he's running 18th after starting in 23rd. He's doing a good job of learning what these trucks are capable of and, you know, figuring out this racetrack. He's improved quite a bit.
Yeah, we jump back up here to the front with Bentley Glazer. Bob Beltrami's worked his way up to the second spot now. First time we've seen Bob up in the top 3 today. And Charlie Widener's kind of been hanging around here in the top 5 these last few restarts. And that 95, our Thurman, North Carolina driver, looking pretty solid right now. But he's got that 12 truck of Ryan Steele behind him. And trust me, Ryan Steele's not a guy you want behind him. He is going to try to push to the front. Not aggressively. I'm not going to say he's going to do anything wrong or anything like that. But you know, if Ryan Steele's behind you, he's trying to go to the front, and you better be ready for it. But right there, we go through the field. Ryan Steele there in fourth right now. Paul Cremeri in fifth, right where he started at. Right behind him is Jeff Hollinsworth. And I'm looking back.
And then we've got Ron Holofield in the 7th position. He's up 14 spots after starting in the 21st position.
We got to get more of the duck car on the screen here.
Got to get the Oregon duck car on the screen. Heath Smith doing a phenomenal job. Got as far up as 2nd. Currently runs in 8th. Scott Kukas started in 10th, runs 9th, but we've seen him sniff in the top 5. Michael Milfeld Jr. going to round out your top 10 here. Julian Ritchie just behind him, John Kenyon, Shane Jensen. We've got a restart coming our way, Chris. The lights are off on the pace truck. It's about to make that hard left turn.
Yeah, Bentley Glazer going to bring us to the line. Bob Beltrami tucked up right behind him. Going to come down into the restart zone. Bentley Glazer going to hit the throttle. He's going to bring us to the line. Bob Beltrami can't quite hold on to him. He's about a truck length back right now. One more time, Glazer with a good start. We'll see if he can get a gap here a little bit, get some separation. He's kind of had everybody breathing down his neck when he's been leading this race. He's led 31 laps of the 56. Beltrami right there behind him. And here comes Charlie Widener right there on the bottom, looking to get that second.
Trouble coming up off of 2. Is that Chris Walker again into the inside wall? Decent amount of contact, and he's going to have to bring it back down to the pits. No caution.
No caution flag at the time. Unfortunately, Chris.
Bentley Glazer still holds on to the race lead, and Chris is going to jump back to pits. He's got the race lead right now, but with these fresh tires behind him, Bob Beltrami looking to the top, Charlie Widener looking to the bottom. Remember, Charlie Widener started 26th, didn't put down a qualifying time, and now he's got a run coming up off of turn number 2. So does Beltrami. Beltrami gets into the back of the 87, and now Charlie Widener going to try to run the bottom to establish position.
Yeah, Charlie Widener, look, he got a really good truck. He's got a good run here on Glazer. Beltrami's going to drop back down behind him, see if he can give him a little bit of a bump, give him some speed. Beltrami going to slide back
up on the top with Beltrami. Now Crum Ray going to fall in line.
Crum Ray with a good run here as well. Ryan Steele back there in 5th. You know, I'm looking for some of our normal guys up here in the front. Jacob Jensen and Chad Turner's way back there in the back of the pack.
Trouble! Jeff Hollingsworth gets turned. He's upside down.
Up into
Hard
the fence.
into the wall, into the catch fence. Oh, and Daryl Scott gets turned around.
Daryl Scott trying to get down out of the way, came across that front. It looked like it might have been Chad Stearns right there, turned himself around, but Hollingsworth with a ride.
That might have been one of those spots there where my mic cut out because I got loud.
You got a little excited?
Saw that 97 get turned around on entry into turn 3, and it immediately caught air.
You know, I did not mark my give me an event as a crasher, so we're gonna have to. Dang it. Let's see here. Let's see if we can find it here on the replay screen.
Barry Phil got a piece of it there.
I gotta go back one more time
All
here.
right, I might be able to.
I've got it. There we go. Up in the air. I keep getting there a little bit too late. There you go. It's off the front of the Heath Smith.
Yeah, he's going to get into him down the back straightaway, and that truck immediately lifts off, stays on its side, rolls over, and that is a violent crash. It makes me happy that we're just watching sim racing, but take another look here.
Yeah, it looked like Heath Smith might have come up just a little bit. I mean, Hollingsworth was up against the wall. We'll see if we can jump in the truck with him here. One more time.
Riding on board. Yeah, Hollingsworth immediately just lifts off, stays on its side. Yeah, it's going to roll over in such a way that, my goodness, that was...
The nice thing about the sim racing is the in-car cameras don't go out.
That's very true, but man, you get a car going cockpit first into the fence, that gives me bad vibes, especially at this racetrack.
Yeah, you see the 62 going around, so just unfortunately just kind of a victim of the whole rest of the incident here, just basically in the wrong place at the wrong time. So Hollingsworth was up front of this race early. We have had a slew of caution flags here in the last few laps. I think I lost count. How many cautions have we had here? 5th caution flag of this event. You know, it started off there, Liam, looked like we were going to go green checkered there for a little while. But once that first caution came out, it's just been a slew. It just hasn't stopped.
Yeah, it's been a wild one for sure. We got that first caution at lap 10. We were able to get to the round of green flag pit stops, but from there on out, it's been cautions breed cautions. And another point that I would like to make, just while we are here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, um, we are 9 days away from the 14-year anniversary of Dan Weldon's passing. Dan was a two-time Indy 500 winner. Unfortunately, was killed in a crash here at Las Vegas in 2011 in what was supposed to be the finale of all finales for the 2011 IndyCar World Championship. So I'm going to just bring up a moment of silence for Dan and anybody else that anybody may have lost.
Start zone, and I don't have my mic on. There we go. Pace truck is in, and Bentley Glazer going to bring us to the line. Charlie Widener up on the outside. Bob Beltrami sitting back there in third.
And what a job Bentley Glazer has done on this restart. Once again, getting away.
Take a look at this battle for Paul Cremeri and Paul, whatever. Let's call him Paul. And Ryan Steele there in fourth and fifth. Is that the app? What's the A on the Charlie Widener truck?
Appalachian State Mountaineers, baby.
All right.
Let's see what he does side by side with the Oregon Ducks truck later. Right now, he's side by side with Bob Beltrami, trying to take away second place as both of these drivers are getting the toe on Bentley Glazer. Who's going to be able to make a move? Bob Beltrami looks down to the bottom. Glazer almost gave him a nose down there, but not quite enough, as here comes the 95 Widener up on the outside, and that's exactly what Bentley wants to see. He wants to tighten up the inside car in the corners and give the outside car the momentum coming up off, keep them side by side. Backfires there. Charlie Widener able to get clear as he's going to move up to the outside. Has to let off just a little bit. He's going to try to cut down to the inside, but there's nowhere to go. Glazer gets a little bit loose. Does Widener get down to the inside? Looks like he does. Going to get there for the side draft. Into turn 3 here. We might have ourselves a new leader with Charlie Widener. The pack forms up behind him, but Bentley Glazer strong up on the outside.
Widener with a great run down there on the bottom, but like we talked earlier, that outside line will come in once we get a couple laps in, and you can see Glazer using that to his advantage, keeping up the momentum on the top, getting a good run through 1 and 2, but here comes Widener down on the bottom as they come off a 2 down the back straightaway here. Can he clear the pass, give us another leader here with Charlie Widener in the 95, charging to the front.
Bob Beltrami went up to the top side to stay with Glazer, and I gotta say, if it's me, I'm going the other way. I see this guy lead 31 laps out of 61 that we've run, now 35 out of 61. I do not want him in the lead. I want to try to pass somebody else because this guy has proven to be almost unpassable.
We have got
I say almost because we saw, Heath Smith and Jeff Wills get around him on the fresh tires, but side by side for the race lead still, the Appalachian State machine trying to make things happen down there on the bottom. Oh, he's going to get clear. Can he get up?
He's going to move up the racetrack in front of Glazer. He is. He's going to have him cleared. They're going to come off of turn number 4, coming across the stripe to start lap number 63. And it's going to be Charlie Widener in that 95 Appalachian Mountaineers truck out in front.
Appalachian State Mountaineers.
I'm going to learn it here eventually. But Widener to the point. Glazer now in second. Bob Beltrami third. Michael Milfit, who was involved in that incident here just a few laps ago, find his way up to fourth now, up 21 spots. But your leader right now, Charlie Widener, did not even start this race. Didn't even qualify in this race. Started 26, is now at the point.
Doing a phenomenal job, Charlie Widener is, and we've seen him in the past, a couple of seasons ago, be very strong. Haven't seen him a whole heck of a lot out front this season. Really might not have been in a lot of races this season yet, but he's picking up right where he left off. Leading the race right now, and Bentley Glazer has a rear view mirror full of Bob Beltrami.
jump in the truck here with Heath Smith. He is all over the back of that number 12 of Ryan Steele, trying to get up there for 5th and 6th position. He's got Paul Cremeri there on the outside as well. Good view as they head down through turn number 1 and turn number 2. Heath Smith doing a good job keeping it down there on the bottom of the racetrack. Top 13 trucks all nose to tail right now. You see Shane Jensen back there as well, kind of peeking his nose out. He has got Jacob Jensen right there behind him, father and son team. As John Kenyon also right there on the outside, tucked in the middle of this battle. We'll jump in the truck here with John Kenyon one more time in that Granger number 88.
Look at John Kenyon get the run. Here comes Jacob trying to follow through on the outside, get around the old man of Shane. They're going to be side by side getting into turn 3. Maybe the old dog can show the young cat a new trick. They're going to get close together coming up off of turn 4. Jensen's going to have the run up on the outside over Jensen. Of course, talking about Jacob over Shane, but they are dead even across the line.
The 05 truck back there in the background, and Chad Stearns kind of down there on the apron, but here we look at the number 8 and the 64, father and son, Jacob and Shane. Shane kind of moving up the racetrack a little bit, kind of moves Jacob up to the top.
Oh man, he almost put him in the wall. If he didn't let out of the gas when he did, Jacob wouldn't have been able to let out of the gas when he did, and now he almost slides up into the right rear, or left rear rather. Jacob Jensen clears his father. Gonna get into... Oh, yeah. You know, they're racing for 9th.
That heck of just a great race all the way through. Look at 3 wide back there for about 11th and 12th.
Oh,
they're going to make some contact.
Richie goes around hard into the wall. No caution.
No caution yet. He's staying tucked up against the fence, though.
Yeah, that truck is destroyed. He's going to stay up top until he can get a clear run down to the bottom. And now he's going to turn left, hard left, and get down to the apron here. An unfortunate circumstance, and Richie can't turn.
Yeah, let's see if we can see what happened here real quick. I didn't go back far enough. Yeah, they're just 3 wide right here. Stearns on the bottom, door in the middle, and just reach. You know, just... I don't think Julian knew they were 3 wide, or I don't think he'd have been that low on the racetrack.
No, I think he was caught off guard by Chad Stearns down there on the bottom, or maybe expected to be clear of the 08 by the time he got in, but an unfortunate circumstances. Now we've got a battle for the lead once again. Charlie Widener has the 87 of Bentley Glazer all over his back bumper. Can he hold him off as Bob Beltrami now has a rear view mirror full of Ryan Steele?
All these drivers pitted, somebody going back. Who was that back there? Looked like
Holyfield kind of 25 there.
Yeah, diving down to the inside of the racetrack.
I think he might have touched Stearns just a little bit and had to make a reactionary move.
Right, so most of these drivers pitted back on lap 39, lap 40. So we're going to be looking for some pit stops sometime into the next 7 to 8 laps for the final pits if we stay green. Charlie Widener out in front, Bentley Glazer right there, tucked up underneath the rear spoiler of that.
Oh, he's going to cut down. I could see him running half a lane up above, get a little bit more momentum going into turn 3. Now here comes the 85 or 95 up on the outside. Can he hold on to the momentum? Bentley Glazer, a strong run on the bottom. Seems like he's a little bit easier on his tires throughout the course of this run. But yeah, like you had mentioned, these guys could make it to the end from here if they decide to stop. However, a driver like... Well, I was going to say Jeff Wills, but a driver like Heath Smith, he's going to be apprehensive to come in early because he knows this is his last set of tires.
Yeah, we've already had 5 cautions in this race. You don't want to get caught out there coming in and the caution comes out on you again like happened to him earlier. So let's just see what happens right here. We got Bentley Glazer, Widener coming back on the outside, trying to get back to the front. They are side by side one more time. So Glazer and Widener have been putting on a show here since that last restart.
Yeah, Widener hasn't given it up. Now, coming up on the outside of turn number 2, he's going to get a little bit more momentum. But Glazer seems to be stronger in 3 and 4, even on the bottom. They're dead even getting into turns 3 and 4 this time. We'll see how Glazer and Widener fare against each other. Glazer able to just get a little bit of a nose out front. Widener with the momentum on the outside. Not quite enough. He's going to have to use some side draft as they punch a huge hole in the air for Bob Beltrami and Ryan Steele just behind.
Yeah, Beltrami's feeling pretty sporty back there behind these two, but he's got really nowhere to go. Let's see what horse he's going to pick. It looks like he's staying down on the bottom with, nope, and as I say that, he starts to move to the outside. So Beltrami just looking for somewhere to go. I think he's got some pace. But with these two trucks side by side in front of you, you just don't know which one to go with at this moment. And as that happens, Beltrami moves up. Ryan Steele takes a look to his inside, trying to get up into that third position.
And all of that has allowed Michael Milfelt Jr. to reel himself in. And don't look too far back. Jacob Jensen running in 6th place, seeing that top 5 pack and saying, hey man, I won last week. I've done everything but intermediate. Let's get her done here at the 1.5 miles.
Yeah, Jacob not had the best day so far. Found himself back in the middle of the pack there for quite a while, but working his way up into the fight for the front here, up into 6th right now. Trying to reel in these top 5, and actually these trucks running side by side is really helping him do that.
Charlie is putting on an incredible fight right now. He's working the middle lane. He's pinching down the 87 as much as he can. Getting a nice run coming up off of 2. Glazer's going to have himself a good bit of grip coming up off of 2, but the momentum stays on the outside. Yeah, Charlie Widener doing a... Sorry.
Oh, no, you're right. No, I was going to say, what happens here is with Widener...
Oh, Milfelt's into the pits.
Yeah, with Widener pinching Glazer down there on the bottom, what that's forcing him to do is Glazer's having to lift a little bit more, a little bit earlier than he would like to keep that truck on the bottom so he's not able to slide up the racetrack. So Widener doing a good job of keeping Glazer forced down to the bottom and using that outside momentum to his advantage. He's going to work his way back to the front. And like you said, Michael Milfit going to be our first driver to come in and pit here at what looks to be the last pit stop of the race.
Very well could be. The 8's coming in, the 04's coming in. They're towards the back. Chad Stearns coming in. Bentley Glazer all over. Widener once again gets into his rear bumper. John Kenyon's going to pit. You can't be on somebody's rear bumper and expect to be able to have the downforce to make the turn.
Yeah, I think if Widener's got ugly stick there on the back of that truck, I think he might bring out that ugly stick if a little more. If he gets hit the back bumper, they get into the corner right there. Widener just doing a really good job, good pace here. And Glazer's also doing a fantastic job here. These guys are just putting on a show here at Vegas. And I just hope we stay green flag the rest of the way out.
Yeah, these guys have been incredible, and they've been clean. They've had numerous opportunities to knock each other out of the way, but we saw ourselves a 5, 6, 7, 8 lap battle, side by side, racing for the lead. Charlie Widener able to hold off the driver who, as of right now, has led the most laps today.
Yeah, Bentley Glazer with 43 laps led. Jeff Wills back there with 20. Charlie Widener has now led 15 laps in this race. Let's actually, we can bring that up here a little bit. We can look at our lap leaders. Bentley Glazer, like I said, with 44 laps, so 44. Jeff Wills with 20, and Widener now with 16. That is our 3 leaders of this race so far.
And with 37 laps to go, Widener still technically could take the most laps led on the day. But Bentley Glazer is fast. He is all up on his rear bumper. And you can see how Beltrami and Steele are starting to fall back a little bit. That's what dirty air can do in these trucks. Bentley Glazer has a phenomenally handling truck right now to be able to stay this close to Charlie Widener. And right now, he's got a run coming down the back straightaway. He might make the move here, getting into 3. No, he's going to stay on the back bumper of the 95. Push him into the corner faster than he wants to go. Cut down to the bottom.
Side by side one more time. Glazer at the line. It's going to be Glazer with the lead as they cross the stripe. And look back there in the back. I saw the one truck of Heath Smith is the first truck a lap down. He's got fresh tires, but look at him coming through here, going to unlap himself.
He's going to try. Widener falls back to second. Glazer gets into the race lead. Now Widener going to try to do what he can. Heath Smith actually takes that opportunity away.
Yeah, that bright green, big Oregon O on the hood right there, number 1. He's going to do the same strategy he did earlier. Pit a little early. Going to have some good pace here right now. Let's see how this works out for him once these other drivers start pitting. Heath right now where is his lap times here? I got to look up at my screen. His last lap was 36.72. So he's running about a second a lap, about almost 1.5 seconds a lap faster right now than these trucks on the older tires. And you can see the pace right there. Eyeball test. He is pulling away from your leaders. So let's see how this works out. These other drivers are going to have to pit here really soon. Because they've ran about 42 laps since their last pit stop. I think we're going to see the leaders dive in here within the next 2 or 3 laps.
Well, like I had mentioned during that caution, or before that caution that happened during the green flag pit stops, I ran myself a league race at Charlotte. I was leading. I was not as good on the long run, so I elected to split it 40-40-40. Tell you what, man, there was one guy on that first run who pushed it to 50 and was able to do 35 on each of those runs, and he used those fresher tires to get around me. Fresher tires are great, but using the tires at the best time, that could be better than just a short pit.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out. I mean, 23. See, so Heath Smith came in and pitted here on lap 73. We are on lap 84, so he's going to have some time on these tires. But I think the pace he's putting down right now, I think by the time these guys come in and pit, I think you're going to see Heath Smith with the lead. I saw some smoke down there on the apron. I couldn't tell who it was. Somebody get down the pits and smoke the tires.
Ryan Steele looking to the outside, trying to lead for the first time here today. I believe he led that last lap.
So let's see where
Getting around Charlie Widener on the outside.
So Glazer comes in and pit, and he is quite a ways behind Heath Smith. So Heath Smith and Jacob Jensen both came. Jacob just pitted just a few laps ago. So staying out there late for Bentley Glazer might cost, unless those tires come on really strong at the end here.
I think they might. I think he might have a chance because Heath Smith's last lap was a 32.01. Looks like he could be in some traffic right now, but that's a lot of time to lose. No, he's not in a lot of traffic. That's a lot of time to lose. He's roughly 20 laps past his, roughly 15 laps past his pit stop.
Yeah, our top 4 trucks right now, actually top 5, are still going to have to pit one more time. And as I say,
Charlie's
Charlie
coming
Widener
in,
working his way into the pits right now. The 95 truck, the 95 Toyota, going to come down into the pits. Charlie Widener, let's see where he comes out. I think we're gonna see how the strategy plays out. I'm pretty sure by the time this thing settles, everybody comes into pits, so we're going to see Heath Smith with the lead. It's just going to be, can he hang on to it? Because he is going to have about 14 lap older tires than the rest of the field.
Yeah, it looks like 4 tires for everybody who's coming in. Nobody wants to risk 2 at this point.
And Ryan
12
Steele
is going to come in this time. Should hand the lead over to James Stewart unless he tries to or decides to follow him in.
You can see Ryan Steele still out there on the racetrack. Bentley Glazer going around the outside him. It looks like it's a 16 of David Weaver alongside him there as well. So Ryan Steele getting some laps led. Going to be what now, our 5th different leader of the race, and he's going to come in and pit right now too. So that leaves James Stewart, the only driver up in the front now that hasn't pitted. Actually, Jeff Wills hasn't pitted either. He pitted back on lap 55. So the 08 truck of James Stewart now at the point. So if you're just joining us, first question is, where the hell you been? But I'm Chris Murphy with my buddy Liam Irving here, Western States Racing League, season 53. We're here at Las Vegas. We weren't at Kansas. We were at Kansas last week. We're at Las Vegas this week. Sim Racing Media. Hey, you know what? If you're just getting here, click the subscribe button down there. Give us a like. Really appreciate you being here. But we're going to finish this race up with 17 laps left to go. Everybody's getting their last pit stops in. We are going to see Heath Smith with a lead. But look who's right there behind him, Liam.
Oh, Jacob Jensen. And he came in 6 laps later. 08's going to come in from the lead this time around, which is going to hand the lead back to Heath Smith, the first driver to have made the money stop. Jacob Jensen just behind him with 6 lap fresher tires, 1.2 seconds, and shrinking.
And somehow Chad Stearns has found his way up to the top 5 as well.
Yeah, Michael Milfeld Jr. just in front of him. He came in on lap 76, Chad Stearns on lap 77. So these guys are going to be virtually equal. just a hair fresher tires on Chad Starks. Then we've got Jeff Wills, who has yet to make a pit stop in this run, hoping for a caution flag after a very strong start and an unfortunate middle of this race, hoping for a caution flag to maybe allow him some sort of recovery at the end.
So let's say
Bentley Glazer gets around Wills, though, to put him into the top 5. Bentley is only 4.3 seconds off the lead with 16 laps to go. Last time around, he was 0.6 of a second quicker than your race leader. Not sure if it's going to be enough time, but if anybody's going to be able to give it their 110% here in this last 15 laps, it's going to be the 87 of Bentley Glazer. Saw him get it done at Kansas just a couple of weeks ago. Now we see Bob Beltrami working the inside.
Oh, look at this. Jacob Jensen's worked his way up onto the back bumper. Heath Smith, he's looking to the inside as they head down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Jensen looking to take the lead. He's got plenty of room to slide up in front of that number 1 truck. Jacob Jensen to the point after being back in the middle of the field for most of this race.
Oh, Bentley Glazer's got a problem. Bentley Glazer falling down positions. He may have disconnected in some way, shape, or form. He might have.
He is gone.
Oh, no. Upload packet loss. Bentley Glazer with the fastest truck all day.
Yeah, look at this. Jacob Jensen, look at his ride through the field here today. Started up in the front, fell all the way back to 24th. I mean, that's like a roller coaster of a chart right there for Jacob Jensen as he finds his way up to the front.
Yeah, currently holding on to the race lead. Now I got to say, it's going to be tough for anybody to chase him down. He seems to be in the best position on tires with 13 laps to go. Bob Beltrami has a couple of lap fresher tires, but he's sitting 4.5 seconds back, just about 4 seconds off of the race lead. It's going to be a really big ask. He's going to have to gain at least 1/3 of a second each time around if he's going to have any hope of competing with the race leader.
Yeah, we look at
Last
Charlie
time
White.
around, it wasn't enough.
Charlie Whitener now in 7th. Running up front here for a little bit, led a little bit of this race. Now finding his way back here, a little bit of different pit strategy. He is on pretty fresh tires. He actually on the freshest tires of just about anybody on the racetrack besides Ryan Steele. So let's see how that works out here with 12 laps left to go. But he has got a long way to catch up to get to the front. Let's see, about 7.5 seconds back from the leader right now.
He's gaining a ton of time, but is it going to be enough? My initial vote leads towards no, but
let's take a look at the last fastest 5 on the last lap was Ryan Steele, James Dewar, Charlie Widener right there. And so these were your 5 fastest drivers on the last lap. So Ryan Steele and Charlie Widener both on fresher tires, and Dewar as well. So
32.29 out of Jacob Jensen.
32.46 out of Smith. So Jensen pulling away, looking to pick up his 5th win here tonight.
31.71 out of Widener, though. He's within 6.6 seconds. Still, I don't see it happening. We could try to create a story here, but
yeah. Let's create a story. Charlie Widener on a charge coming to the front. Can he pull it off?
He could pull off a top 5, I think, but I even think a podium would be a tough ask for Charlie at this point. He's got to get around Michael Milfelt Jr., who's 4 seconds in front of him.
But still a great run. Started back there in 26th. Didn't even qualify. All the way up to 6th right now. Well, a good story there from Charlie Widener. We haven't really seen him much this year, if at all. Take a look at the 155 of Milfit also with a good run. I mean, you look at the front of this field. Heath Smith started back in 24th, running 2nd. Milfit started back in 25th, running 3rd. We've got some really big movers in this event.
Yeah, I mean, Widener, of course, started 26th. He's now in 6th.
8 laps
Ryan
left
Steele
to go.
started in 19th, up to 8th. Jacob Jensen, yeah, like you said, 8 laps away, 7 laps away when they cross the start-finish line, away from his 5th win on the season. And like you had brought up at the beginning with the points, Jacob Jensen, he's sitting in third place. He's only 7 points out of the lead coming into this race, a 5th win, with Brian Barnes not showing up and Wayne Hutchison getting involved in an early tangle. Jacob Jensen will be your points leader leaving this race, and he's run all 13 races. So the drop weeks are, I tell you what, man, it's been tough to see him off, but those drop weeks they're probably going to be those very few off races.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. Jacob Jensen definitely going to leave here with the point lead. Wayne Hutchison was poised. I don't know why I can never say that word. I'm going to have to find a different word. But Hutchison was looking to take the point lead. But I think you're right. I think it's going to go to Jensen when we leave here from Vegas.
Ryan Steele coming up off of turn number 2. Let's take a look at this 40 truck. We've seen him throughout the course of the race getting involved in a couple of incidents. That's Charles Woods. Saw him involved with that first accident. Did not actually get involved. He just slowed down to avoid it. But then not long after that, we saw him get turned into the outside wall. Charles Woods running in 11th place, trying to get a top 10 spot away from John Kenyon. He's going to look to the bottom. Nothing doing so far. With 5 laps to go, these guys are working on old tires, and you've got to try to get the momentum where you can. John Kenyon using up a little bit more racetrack than Charles is willing to use at this point. But you're getting down to the nitty-gritty here with 4 laps to go. Coming to 4 laps to go, you got to try to take that position if you can. I know Charles wants to get a top 10. Bob Beltrami, however, he's going to be trying to get up to Michael Milfelt here. He's got fresher tires. He's been a little bit quicker each time around. Is he going to have enough over the course of the next 4 laps to get there and make the pass for the podium?
And that 05 truck of Chad Stearns has found his way back up into the top 5. We kind of saw the same thing. Got 4 laps left to go here, but if you look at the chart here for Chad Stearns, kind of the same situation as Jensen. Kind of found himself towards the back of the field for a while, had to work his way back to the front. So a good run from Chad Stearns, just getting himself back up into the top 5 here after a few issues here and there throughout this race.
Doing a really good job ripping the top there.
3 laps left to go for Jacob Jensen coming off of turn number 4. I'm gonna go this digger cam here. I like this camera.
That is a pretty cool camera.
Yeah, a couple new sponsors on the truck from Jacob Jensen this week. We see is that the Dubby energy drink, I think, on the side of the truck. We've seen Jensen change sponsors a few times throughout the field, throughout the season so far. So 2 laps left to go. Coming down the back straightaway, just a lap and a half left for Jacob Jensen to pick up win number 5. Heath Smith sitting here in second. Just a great run from Heath. It looks like the top 5 are going to kind of settle into where they are right now. Nobody really challenging each other.
Yeah, Beltrami's going to need to gain 3 tenths if he wants to get 3rd place away from Milfelt here on this final lap. But as we speak about the final lap, it is all Jacob Jensen. He got it done last week at the Roval. He got it done in Watkins Glen. He got it done in Iowa. He got it done in Dover. This time around, he's going to get it at one of those classic cookie cutters that everybody talks about. The Dubby Chevy Silverado is going to pick up the dub here in Sin City. Jacob Jensen gets it done in Las Vegas. Heath Smith in second. Bob Beltrami takes away 3rd for Michael Milfelt.
Right at the line.
Milfelt in 4th, and Chad Stearns rounds out the top 5.
Yeah, Beltrami snuck underneath Milfelt coming to the line there. Took that 3rd spot away by about 3 tenths of a second.
Yeah, he had himself a massive run, took it, got her done. Fantastic job there by Bob Beltrami, getting her done by just a couple hundredths. Jacob Jensen gets it done. We're going to watch him burn it down. For the 5th time this season.
Yeah, just a great run from
Jacob
Jacob. We kind
Jensen.
of counted him out at one point during this race, but he snuck his way back towards the front and is going to come home with another one. And Jacob showing you how to do some good burnouts there. I've seen some guys struggle getting that done, so Jacob doing a good job here, putting on a show for the fans.
Jacob Jensen burns it down.
So we'll bring up the results here real quick.
Jacob Jensen gets her done by just about 2 seconds over Heath Smith. Then Bob Beltrami in a photo finish, 2/100ths of a second, takes the podium spot away from Michael Milfelt Jr. Chad Stearns finishes in 5th. Charlie Widener, Ryan Steele, Paul Crumray, and Shane Jensen. Then Charles Woods makes his way up into the top 10. Good recovery for Charles. John Kenyon, James Dewar, Wayne Hutchison, Dustin Burns, and Ron Holyfield rounding out the top 15.
Yeah, it's going to be Barry Phil. We didn't talk about Barry most of the day. Going to come home in 16th. Scott Kukas was up in the top 10 for a while today, but going to come home in 17th. William Fletcher, 18th. Jeff Wills, one of your race leaders early on, back in 19th, or he's up in the front for a while. Earl Weaver in 20th. Daryl Scott, 21st. David Weaver, Bentley Glazier, unfortunately, with a looked like a disconnect technical issue. Looked like the one to beat tonight, going to come home in 23rd. Alan Bergen, 24th. Chris Walker, Julian Ricci, Jeff Hollinsworth, a couple other fast runners found themselves towards the back of the field. So we're going to get to our interviews here. It looks like we've got Jacob Jensen. Let's see here. We got Jacob Jensen sitting there waiting for us. I'll bring him in here for you, Liam.
Yeah, Jacob, it's well, this is the 5th time that we've been able to talk to you in Victory Lane this season. What does it mean to be so dominant in this series? You take the points lead here tonight with Wayne Hutchison having trouble and Barnes not showing up. So what
Well,
does it mean?
it means a lot. This is a really competitive group of guys for the most part, and to be able to come back, especially tonight, from how that race went, from the super like lap 40-ish caution that put me behind to up here, it's just great. It was a great race, and so far it's been a great season. I really enjoy racing these guys, and hopefully we can keep having more fun.
Yeah, and of course, we do have to talk to you about your race. You started, I believe, in the 3rd position, but you had some ups and downs. You ran up front most of the day, but like you said, that lap 40 caution kind of got strategery fumbled up, and we saw you restart, I believe, as far back as 18th, fall back to 21st for a moment. What was it like clawing and fighting your way back up through this field?
Well, it was really hard. This truck isn't the greatest for being able to overtake, so it was just really important to be able to time your runs out well and just try to make something happen. And apparently, we made something happen.
You definitely made something happen. You made a win happen. This is the 5th time we've been able to talk to you. You got it done at Dover, Iowa, Watkins Glen, the Roval, but now for the first time, you get it done at an intermediate. What kind of confidence does this give you moving forward that you can win at any track?
Well, it gives me a lot of confidence. I actually didn't win at Dover. I won at Darlington earlier in the season.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
All good. But yeah, it means quite a bit to finally be able to get a win that, we had at a intermediate, which isn't one of my strong suits, and a win that didn't come easy. A lot of my wins were just me leading the entire race, and as fun as that is, it's not very practical. So having a win come hard is really nice to see.
Well, awesome stuff, Jacob. You got it done for the 5th time. We saw a new sponsor on your truck with Dubby. Talk to us about them and anybody else who helps you get it done.
Well, I really want to thank the dear Lord. I want to thank my family. I want to thank Grandpa R. I want to thank Colby for watching. And then I want to thank Shane Jensen. He had a really good night too. P9 after all his troubles is pretty good. I want to thank my sponsors, Dubby, um, Overtalk Podcasts, and all those guys. And then I want to thank Bob and you guys for putting the league together.
Well, congratulations, Jacob, on the points lead and your 5th win of the season. We're skipping next week, but we'll see you when we get back to racing.
Yeah, see you guys at Martinsville.
All right, we're gonna bring in our second place finisher tonight, Heath Smith. Heath, are you there with us? You got Chris Murphy and Liam Erbig here in the booth.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Hey, first off, being a fellow Oregon Duck fan, I gotta really appreciate the livery on the truck. Go Ducks! Looked great out there on the racetrack. But you were
Well,
kind of
thank you. That's a patented paint. Scott Patton, he does an amazing job with these paints that he puts on trucks. And go Ducks! Quack quack.
quack quack. That looked really good. Hey, you were kind of up and down throughout the field. You got yourself to the front, and then you decided to pit a little bit earlier than everybody else. And that caution came out, kind of set you back a little ways. Where you know, did you think you were going to get back up to the front after that?
No, I didn't, and I was just trying to do something different than everybody else was doing. I thought I made a mistake. I actually meant to only take fuel on the pit stop at lap 9 when we got the caution, but I ended up taking 4 tires. So I was just going to try to run through the field and get to the front, and then still pit at the same time they did. And I was going to be like, if it would all worked out, I would come out of the pits around 1.5 seconds ahead of them. And but then the caution come out, and that set me way back, being a set of tires behind. So we just kind of had to run a different race and a different strategy at that point, and it just happened to work out, and we was able to come up second.
Yeah, that set of tires you took at lap 10 just really benefited you. You charged through the field up to the front. I think your strategy worked. I think your strategy was really planned out well. It's just unfortunate, untimely caution. There's really not much you can do about those. But you did a great job getting back up into the feet, up into the front. If I remember correct, is this the first time we've seen you with the Western States this season?
This season, yes, sir. That's correct. It's so late for me. I was just telling Bob it's 11:50 right now for me, so I got to get up and go to work in the morning. So it's kind of late for me, but I love running with WSRL. I just can't make every one of them. So I hate that.
But
It's
I
such a
remember
good group
that.
of guys to race with.
I remember that Ducks truck, man. I
yeah,
Oh
remember
yeah,
you.
for sure.
yeah. Well, hopefully we get a chance to see you again. So we're gonna come back, and we're off next week. Come back in 2 weeks at Martinsville. Hopefully we'll see you there. But hey, man, before we get out of here, so you can get some sleep. But before we get you out of here, you got anybody you want to give a thanks to?
Well, of course, I got to thank my teammates at Highline Racing, Charlie and Mike. They ran good tonight. I think they both had top 5 finishes. And then, of course, got to thank WSRL, all the admins that run that and put it together and give us a place to race on Tuesday night. I had a blast tonight, and great group of guys, very competitive. I enjoyed it. And then, of course, you guys, Sim Racing Media, thank you for broadcasting it. Thank you for what you do for all the iRacing and putting this on YouTube where I can go back and watch it and enjoy it. I hope I enjoyed it as much as you guys got to enjoy it tonight.
Yeah, it was put on a great show. Really appreciate you. Hope to see you again, Heath. Have yourself a good rest of the night, and we'll see you again next time.
Sounds good. Thank you guys.
All right. Oh, what happened there? There we go.
We've got Bob up in the booth. Chris is doing his thing, but Bob, walk us through that last lap, man. I tell you what, I'm not gonna lie, we kind of wrote you off. Seemed like it was a little bit too much for you to gain, but you just hooked it down there on the bottom in turns 3 and 4 to take away that podium spot. What
Well,
did it take to get that done?
there was definitely some luck involved. The car on the outside got a little scrub on the wall, and it killed a little bit of his momentum, and that was really the difference. That let me get the nose out there at the start finish line, but it was really interesting seeing all of the different tire strategies when everybody was choosing to pit there on that last set of stops with, what was it, 20 to 30, somewhere in that ballpark. Everybody was choosing a different little spot to make their choice, and that made a big difference. And I was able to make up a lot of positions, and right there at the end, I was just starting to feel the tires stall out with the new rubber, but it was good. I was able to bring home a top 3, so I'm happy with that for sure.
Yeah, we saw you start in 8th, and you spent most of this race up at the front, but you did have to work your way through some traffic. What was it like in dirty air versus getting up towards the front in cleaner air?
You could definitely tell the difference. I was kind of surprised. I was really having trouble there at the end. I was sitting right behind the two leaders when they were side by side, and there was part of me that was really thinking, okay, I'm going to be able to make some hay with this and come out with a nice position. At the same time, I couldn't do anything because I was behind both of their drafts, and I was kind of stuck. And I'm looking up in my rear view, and I think it was Ryan Steele who was behind me. So we're just kind of wondering what the heck are we going to do with this whole situation. So it definitely made a difference in the draft versus clean air, because when I was on those fresh tires, I was just able to work my way through, and it just wasn't much of a big deal. So it felt good.
Well, Bob, the chief cook and bottle washer, as Alan likes to call you, the Beltrami salami machine. You come home in third, but of course, you're kind of the main guy in this league. So we want to let you promote yourself, but we also want to let you promote this league. Who helps you get it done, and who helps the league get it done?
Well, when it really comes down to it, it truly is just a one-man show. The guys that help me do it are the guys that come out and race, and that's what we appreciate. And when we have two series. Tonight's the Tuesday series. We have our Friday series as well. We're looking for drivers to come out, help us out there, come out and enjoy some NASCAR racing, and hopefully we can get those field sizes pumped up, and then we'd be really rocking. So
What kind of cars you run on Friday?
we're currently running the new Gen 4, but they haven't been very popular. So we're going to do some testing this Friday with the Xfinity cars at something like Richmond or another short track. I haven't decided yet, but hopefully that's going to be a fun time. We're going to draw a little crowd and have some good time.
Well, I tell you what, I'm a big fan of the Gen 4 cars. I know they're kind of tough right now, but I might
I was
myself
shocked that they
look
didn't work.
into.
I mean, we really wanted to give them a try, especially after using the late '80s car. What was that, the '87? They were a lot of fun too, but they were a lot harder to drive. But I was really thinking that these Gen 4s would be popular, and it just hasn't. For some reason, it just hasn't panned out. So we're going to give something else a shot and see what we can do.
We could definitely talk a little bit more about that off the show, but gotta say, man, could be interested myself in running on Fridays. And if anybody who's still tuning in has iRacing, wants to run in this incredible league on Friday nights, Bob Beltrami is the guy to get a hold of and search up Western States Racing League on socials.
Don't let him do it, Bob.
Yep,
I've seen
just
him
search
drive.
for Yep, just for league number 100 on iRacing, you'll find us. We're easy to dig up. So um, the races this weekend, both on Friday and Tuesday, are going to be uh, they're open to the entire iRacing system. So come on out, join us, and have a good time.
Well, awesome stuff, Bob. Congrats on the third place. Thanks for joining us, and yeah, I'm looking forward to potentially racing with you on Fridays.
Sounds good, Liam. You guys have a great one. Take her easy.
Well, that was our podium finishers for the night. Bob Beltrami, always a good time. It was good to talk to him. Jacob Jensen gets her done for the 5th time in 13 races. You got to wonder what this type of dominance means for the next 7.
Yeah, Jacob Jensen just, hey, you know what? We talked earlier that these intermediate tracks hadn't been his strong point, but he sure showed it here tonight. Came back up through the field after some issues, so just putting on a good show. Right now, this is the season for Jacob Jensen. I think this would be his first championship if he can get it back up there if he can take the point lead, which I think he probably did after tonight. But for
Oh,
me,
he's definitely the points leader after
yeah,
this race.
I
Plus,
am.
all of his races have counted so far.
That's true.
So I mean, you're not using a drop week on a missed race as of right now. You're using it on a 13th.
Yeah, I'm just happy that I'm not happy that we're off next week, but I'm happy that we come back to Martinsville. I love that little short track, little paperclip racetrack. That's going to be a lot of fun. So something a little bit different we haven't done yet this year. Looking forward to that. A few more cautions here tonight than I expected there to be, but overall it was just some great racing up front. We saw guys going from the front to the back, back to the front. So, and like Bob, I can't remember if it was Bob or it was Heath that said, I think Bob said it. Just all the different strategies that came into play tonight was really fun to watch.
It was an absolutely incredible show, and it was good to hang out with you, Chris, for it. It was truly, I mean, races like this, that's why we watch racing.
Oh, agree 100%. Yeah, and it kind of makes me sad we're gone off next week. We don't get to hang out for a couple weeks. We need to find something to do. You know what? Maybe I'll get some laps when I come race with you on Friday night.
Ooh,
That would be scary.
that would be fun.
I'm gonna need some practice.
We'll see what these guys end up doing for the Friday series. Like I said, I hate that the Gen 4 doesn't get the traction that it should. I feel like that's one of the most fun cars to drive. And if they could just figure out the aero dependencies with other cars, it would be amazing.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I haven't had really much of a chance to drive them here yet, but I'm gonna have to go give them a try. You know, I've been kind of stuck myself just running a lot of the smaller stuff just for fun. But yeah, let's take a look at that. We'll see what they end up with. But just another fun race here at Vegas tonight. I've done quite a few races here at Vegas over the last few weeks, and this was by far the most exciting, the closest racing up front. But yeah, looking forward to where we're gonna come back in a couple weeks. We've got maybe about 7 more races left here in the season. We got Martinsville, Phoenix, Talladega, the next 3 races after we're off next week. So going to be an exciting close to this season 53 here at Western States Racing League. I got to keep saying it like that because it's just amazing how long they've been around doing stuff.
Yeah, it really is. That should about do it for us here, though, on Sim Racing Media. I'm Liam Ervig, Chris Murphy on the ones and twos, kicking ass like he does week in and week out. Can't thank you guys enough for tuning in, and we haven't even plugged ourselves yet. So if you're still here, subscribe. Thanks again for tuning in. Western States Racing League put on a phenomenal show in Vegas. We're going to catch you in 2 weeks' time in Martinsville. Same time, same place, Sim Racing Media. That friendly reminder as you guys walk through the streets of life, please don't play in traffic. Have a good night, folks.